Hi guys, I'm back with book outlet book haul, and then I stopped by the other used bookstore on my way home from work. I had to work on site last week, so I thought, hey, I have trade credit. How about I stop in this used bookstore and poke around for a while? And I found some. So I don't know how many books here. There's at least 20. I can go with that. I'll start with the ones from Book Outlet. I've got like three little stacks here. Um, Sorry for all the empty space. This is from the Book Outlet books I had already put on my shelf, and I had to go on the website and actually look up which ones I bought to remember to pull them off the shelf. And it's my husband's. I stole it. I really steal it. He said I could use it. Let's see here. I'll start with this stack. I have Loving Amy, A Mother's Story by Janice Winehouse. Amy Winehouse, obviously, so I don't need to go into too much detail about that. I did read the one her father wrote 5 years ago. Yes, because I took it to the beach on my 30th birthday and read it. It was okay. Apparently this one has better reviews than the father's one, so we'll see. And then we have Anyas War by Andrea Alban. This one is a Jewish family moves to Shanghai right before World War II, and it's her living there. I don't know if there's going to be any tensions because they're Jewish. I highly doubt it, but little. We should see. Mrs. Lee and Mrs. Gray, Dorothy Love. Mary Anna Custis Lee is a great-granddaughter of Martha Washington, wife of Confederate General Robert E. Lee, and heiress to Virginia's storied Arlington House and General Washington's personal belongings. Born in bondage at Arlington, Selena Norris Gray learns to read and write in the schoolroom Mary and her mother keep for slave children, and eventually becomes Mary's housekeeper and confidant. As Mary's health declines, Selena becomes her personal maid, strengthening a bond that lasts until death parts them. That's not the whole back of the book, but I just want to give you a synopsis. I've had this one in my cart or on my wish list on Amazon forever, and I finally found it cheap, so I went ahead and picked this one up so I could take it off my wish list. And then this one, everybody and their dog and their dog's brother and their dog's uncle knows about this book already. It's Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Like I said, if you don't know about it, you need to start getting on some YouTube videos. But it's got this neat little see-through cover. I wasn't willing to pay for the second book. Honestly, I don't remember the name of it, but I was told on Twitter that it was on sale for $1.99. So it was on sale on Amazon for $1.99, and I normally buy all my ebooks from Google. So I looked and Google had it for the same price. So I had some Google survey credit and I didn't pay for it. So maybe by the end of the video I will remember what the name of the second book is. But got it on my tablet, so hopefully it will be an okay format, because I know this is written in little bits and bobbles, so I'll just keep an eye out. If it's cheap again on like Book Outlet, I'll get it. And then Stalin's Daughter, The Extraordinary and Tumultuous Life of Svetlana Alliluyeva. I'm horrible with Russian names. Self-explanatory. It's about Stalin's daughter and how she moved to the United States and got away from her father. I mean, he did die and all, but just her life. And I'm a sucker for a thick nonfiction book. And it's got pretty wide margins so that it won't be too terribly bad. Then these two, I do have Roses. It's downstairs on one of my bookshelves, and I've not read it, but these were less than $2 a piece. So I figured, why the heck not, when I'm in the mood for some big chunkin' family drama? I don't know if that's the word I want to call it. There's a better term for it. I'm just not thinking. But I got Tumbleweeds by Lila Meacham. And unless I think the hardback was cheaper. Somerset by Lila Meacham. And these, I think all of them are scratch and dent. And there's only one that was boogered. So I was pretty happy about that. And these, again, are just family stories, family sagas. That's what I want to call my saga. So there are those. I'm not going into too much detail because I never feel like I can give them justice. And then Silence for the Dead by Simone St. James. I have had this one on in my book outlet cart forever. It was 89 cents. I finally went, come on. I had seen it on someone else's channel. I think it was Laura's channel that she bought it and maybe has already read it. Maybe. 500 Acres and No Place to Hide by Susan McCorkindale. This honestly was like, hey, I need something for like $1 to pop in my cart to get free shipping. So this was in the clearance section and it was maybe, I think $1.29, possibly cheaper than that. Basically, I think it's a city girl turned country girl by force, by requirement, and it's nonfiction, so I thought, hey, why not? Under a Painted Sky by Stacey Lee. This one is young adult. I, again, have had this one on my wish list forever. Generally, when I make book outlet orders, it's me going and trolling my Amazon wish list and seeing how cheaply I can find them on book outlet and then making an order, because it's not that I'm cheap, but the more books for the least price, the better. This one is All Samantha wanted was to move back to New York and pursue her music, which was difficult enough for a Chinese girl in Missouri in 1849. Then her fate takes a turn for the worse after a tragic accident leaves her with nothing and she breaks the law in self-defense. With help from Anna May, a runaway slave she meets at the scene of her crime, the two flee town for unknown frontier, but life on the Oregon Trail is unsafe for two girls. Disguised as Sammy and Andy, two boys heading for the California gold rush, each searches for a link to her past and struggles to avoid any unwanted attention until they merge paths with a band of cowboys turned allies, and Samantha can't stop herself from falling for one. But the law is closing in on them and new setbacks come each day. The girls will quickly learn there are not many places one can hide on the open trail. So, young adult historical western. I'm all about that. And then this one I've wanted, and I'm bummed because it was the most expensive. It was $8.49. And I went, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get it. And I mean, it's not that I can't put some packing tape on it, but it just annoyed me to no end that I paid $8.50 and it was ripped. But it's A Square Meal, A Culinary History of the Great Depression by Jane Ziegelman and Andrew Coe. So this one I want to read soon. I don't think there are any recipes or anything in it. Actually, there are. And some pictures, too. So basically just how people ate during that time and the recipes that were developed due to circumstances. So this will be interesting because my grandmother was a child of the Great Depression. She was born in 1912. She's no longer with us for obvious reasons. But yeah, I have eaten some poverty meals and it is what it is and it's delicious. Government cheese is nothing to sneeze about. I've not had that stuff in forever. And then these are all from the other used bookstore. I'll leave the best for last. Some I got out of the free bin, actually. 2 are in my car. I'm not going to bring them up. They're like some really pretty green Harvard Press Shakespeare and stuff that I will never read, but they will look good on a bookshelf. The Great Santini by Pat Conroy, Lords of Discipline by Pat Conroy, Prince of Tides by Pat Conroy, and of course it's probably at the bottom. Oh, My Losing Season by Pat Conroy. I finished Beach Music 2 weeks ago on a Sunday night and loved it. One of my favorite books of all time. So I'm going to give these a go. I wish they were, modern covers, but I don't care because they were 50 cents, $1.50, $1.50, 75 cents. Now this one is not fiction. This is his basketball. He played basketball. So I'm interested to read one of those sometime when I'm wanting to read a long book. For right now, I'm trying to pick short ones. Then we have The Maud Allen Affair by Russell James. This one is actually like a UK penandsword.co.uk. So it's a British. I have no clue who this woman is. It sounded interesting. London, 1908, exotic dancer Maud Allen saves the London Olympics from certain failure. 90,000 people fill the previously empty stadium to see the biggest celebrity of the day, famed for her erotic dance. Standing beside her was her lover. A decade on, the horrors of the First World War, now in its final year, are forced off the front pages, but the papers by Maud, but in this time the coverage is not celebratory. Instead, she is the outraged defendant in one of the most infamous miscarriages of justice of all time, the Noel Pemberton Billing libel trial. Accused of being a lesbian, Maud fights to clear her name and is destroyed by the fictional German Black Book, which claimed to contain the names of 47,000 people affected by sexual deviance, including the trial judge and even the Prime Minister himself, a depravity which the witnesses claimed could make Britain lose the war. The courtroom is turned into a piece of theater by the egos of Pemberton, P.B. Billing, and Justice Darling, where truth is irrelevant. Maud's famous dance, based on the work of the notorious Oscar Wilde, is used as proof of her depravity. Even Lord Alfred Douglas was a witness against her in the starriest of casts, including the Machiavellian Colonel Charles Court Reppington, who was working behind the scenes to fake evidence and plant false witnesses to ensure that Maud could not succeed. Russell James' gripping narrative brings the characters to life as he reveals Maud's darkest secret against a multi-layered backdrop of political ambition, war, and death. And this is a true story. Never heard of this, so I'm really jazzed to... It's big, but to get to that. Papillon by Henry Charrier. Convicted in Paris in 1931 of a murder he did not commit. Sentenced to life imprisonment in the penal colony of French Ghana, he became obsessed with one goal: escape. After planning and executing a series of treacherous yet failed attempts over many years, he was eventually sent to the notorious prison Devil's Island, a place from which no one had ever escaped, until Papillon. His flight to freedom remains one of the most incredible feats of human cunning, will, and endurance ever undertaken. His astonishing autobiography was published in France to instant acclaim in '68, more than 20 years after his final escape. Since then, it has become a treasured classic, the gripping, shocking, ultimately uplifting odyssey of an innocent man who would not be defeated. Again, never heard of this. So that's the beauty of history. There's so much that goes on, and so many people. You can find something new every day. So that sounds good. This is the last one I bought. The Little Paris Bookshop by Nina George. I've had this on my wish list forever as well on Amazon, so I was excited that this was in their bargain section. And then the last ones are kind of just hilarious. Again, I got them out of the free bin, and I don't really care. The Art of Scandal, The Life and Times of Isabella Stewart Gardner, apparently is an artist. So again, I like a good nonfiction. And The Da Vinci Code, Dan Brown. Yes, you can make fun of me, but I enjoyed this book. And I think I trashed my copy. Or sent it to the Goodwill. And Mars and Venus and Love. No. No, I'm not going into that. And this was the last one I got. I've got to like hurry because I'm long on my video. I hope it uploads. The 60th anniversary edition of Gone with the Wind in this pretty slipcover box, in this pretty edition, and it has deckled edges and the beautiful red papers. This was 25 bucks. Oh yes, it was. I had credit, so I didn't pay for it. So now I have this beautiful book for my shelf back here. I think this is like the 6th or 7th copy of this book that I have, seeing as how I hauled that copy last time. I love it. But that's all. I don't have any other books that I have purchased, nor do I plan on purchasing, even though today do I find on Facebook that the bookstore is 50% off again, and they've got to stop doing that. No, I don't have anything I want to look for, so we'll see. We'll see. But that's it. Let me know. I don't think anybody, well, yeah, people have probably read these, so let me know. what you're reading, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.